Welcome to the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff. It's Monday, and we're back, and it's March, which means the madness is near. The weather is fantastic. Soon. Lots of rain to come, but we're going to have soon. We're right there, folks. We're knocking on the door. It also means that we are sitting here with baseball, real games, real baseball games. Opening day is this month. How about that? Opening day is this month. It's the Recap Lunch Hour. We do it every day, Monday through Friday, 12:30 right here on the Recap. It's all brought to you by Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com. Have it delivered straight to your office, straight to your door. Slide by, pick it up after work. Cap and I will be there March 19th. Hooters O'Hare. March 19th, round one of the NCAA tournament. This fine program will be live in person. We look forward to seeing as many of you there as possible. We'll hang out. We'll be watching the tournament, betting some games, et cetera, et cetera. The NFL league year is getting close. And there's a lot of smoke. There's some fire out there. David Montgomery was just traded from the Lions to the Texans this morning. And a report about Maxx Crosby from Albert Breer of SI this morning says that he could be traded as early as this week as the league year begins, about 9 days from now, which means free agency. Teams are trying to figure out their cap structure. And that Maxx Crosby is on the list of about 6 teams, being the Chicago Bears one of them. Now, he also says the idea of getting a monster package like they did for Khalil Mack years ago from the Bears, or like Micah Parsons did last year, or Laramie Tunsil did from the Texans a couple of years ago, is probably not realistic. We've heard Tremaine Edmonds' name mentioned as a possible trade target, and it sounds like there's a market heating up for him. The Raiders also being linked to Tremaine Edmonds. If there's a package that could involve a player, like you just saw a player swap in the David Montgomery trade. Yes, there were picks too. I would guess that there would be picks involved here as well. That would be absolutely fantastic. Let's get to the chat here. Also, the Illini, Cap and I, great experience on Friday night. They got smoked. Absolutely blown out by Michigan. The Wolverines claim the Big Ten regular season crown. Michigan's a different team than Illinois. I thought it was an okay environment. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be real. It was a great time. It was a great buzz before the game. It got quiet early. And in terms of all-time environments I've been in, it was not in the all-time conversation. And I know the game was the game, but that shouldn't be the only thing that dictates whether or not it's a great environment. Kyle starts us off. Great job by the Bulls, Hawks, Cubs, and Sox, and fire for wins this weekend. Go Chicago. Am I worried about Shota? Becky, when the White Sox are hitting 3 homers off of him, no. Cap was getting all stressed out saying yesterday he was in midseason form. I laughed it off. Seeing the White Sox hit those home runs was a little fun for me. We know what Shota Imanaga is going to be. The ball travels a little differently in Arizona this time of year, but Shota's going to give up home runs. We already know that. Hope you enjoyed the game with Cap and Champagne. I was really disappointed that Illinois didn't seem to play their game against Michigan. Can't let that happen again. Otherwise, they're done. There was not much of an offensive game plan there. Eric, hey, Guff, great weekend for Chicago sports. A lot of wins by our teams. Disappointed by the Illini, though. Thought they'd play better against Michigan. Michigan's the creme de la creme, folks, of the Big Ten. I think they're just completely different team than Illinois. Kyle, MJ did it. The first time ever in the 75-plus year history of NASCAR. Tyler Reddick gave Michael Jordan another three-peat. They made history yesterday. MJ says now he's on to Phoenix. He's going to keep this going. Guff, Cap was right. Just like the beatdown by UConn 2 years ago, Michigan showed who they are and that Illinois is nowhere ready for primetime. I told you guys where I stand on Illinois. They're going to have to be a hot shooting team to go deep in the tournament. I really believe that. Or they have to change their offense like yesterday. As far as the Bears go, Guff, Bears should do whatever they need to do to try and get Crosby on the Bears. That would make them legit Super Bowl contenders this upcoming season. It would certainly change the conversation. Phil, Illinois played Michigan's game instead of their own. Same with UConn 2 years ago. They need to play their game and forget about playing their opponent's game. Yeah, they will lose early in the tournament if that's the case. It's something Lip Ripper and others in here have said. Aloha, Rick from Honolulu. Neither Happ nor Suzuki are in the extension negotiations, it seems. Anyone else? We've heard PCA's name, possibly. We usually don't see it until later in spring, right before the season. This is about when agents start going to spring training. The WBC obviously taking place now. So we'll see if those talks continue. If you and Cap or Ryan polls, what would you give up to get Maxx Crosby on the Bears, in your opinion? Not multiple ones. I would definitely give up the 25th for sure. 25th and Tremaine Edmonds and like a future 5th, something like that. I would do that. I would definitely do that. I'm okay giving up this year's one. I guess we just have to be patient. That's very true. Guff, ESPN has their way too early All-Stars for 2026. Cubs have multiple All-Stars, and your Sox only have one. I forgot every team has to be represented. They shouldn't have any at all. What the hell is that supposed to mean? There's been plenty of years the Cubs shouldn't have one. Also, let's go back and watch. Pull that list up in July, Phil, and see how many are correct. Who cares about way too early All-Stars? By the way, I think Murakami was his All-Star for the White Sox, if I'm not mistaken. Cold in Tulsa. Can't believe it's March already. This is the time where the sports calendar really heats up with March Madness, MLB opening day, Final Four Masters in April, Kentucky Derby in May. Shots fired from Phil McScrooge this Monday afternoon. Bring on the debates, Phil A. Smith. Sometimes his shots fired, though, are just blanks. Yeah, that was it. There you go. A BB gun, not a real shot. Brett, my dad and I went to Guzman y Gomez on Sunday night for dinner. It was delicious. Had the Cali burrito. Guzman y Gomez, great partners of us here on the recap. Absolutely outstanding. I saw the post on Instagram there, Brett. Eric, time just passed us by. Can't believe conference tournaments are almost here. It's unbelievable. We're going to start seeing some as soon as this week, folks. As soon as this week. Do you think it's more important the Bears improve their pass rush or find a good left tackle? I think their pass rush. I think they need to find a left tackle, but right now they have nobody rushing the quarterback there, Brett. They need to rush the quarterback. They need to get that defense on and off the field. Guff, saw an article where the trade for Crosby to Chicago could happen sooner than later. Depending on what you give up, not sure the trigger should be pulled. Love Max, but you need other players besides one guy to get this roster to a title. The price is right. Go for it. I think the price can be right. This is a difference-making player. What's up, Clyde? I don't know if this is Ellie or Eli, depending on the handle. Sometimes they get changed. Guff, if there's one thing you could change from last Bear season, what would it be? Oh, that's like they at least got to the NFC title game. It was so disappointing, that Rams game. Cubs just signed Justin again. Is that Justin Turner? Justin Steele has been cleared by his doctor for an earlier than we thought return. Jess, can't believe opening day is at the end of the month. Sox had a good deal of $150 passes for all games at home except the Cubs for April and May. Pretty cool. Lip, what's up, Guff and Lunch Hour? Crosby to the Bears would be crazy if that happens. Rome has to step up big time next year with DJ for sure gone. If DJ's gone. That's good, but wouldn't rush him back. I think he'll be back around late June, early July. It sounds like he could be back earlier. They won't rush him back. He won't be cleared if he wouldn't be ready to go. What's going on, Landon? Looking forward to March Madness as always, but have to give a shout out for Northwestern pulling off the last second win against Oregon. That was good. Justin, Sox are killing it, outscoring opponents 65-42 so far in 11 games. I don't get all that concerned about spring training stats, but the White Sox do have one of the better records in all of spring training. To Lip's point, and I've been saying it, Michigan is very, very good. The WBC starts up soon. March is a great sports month. Looking forward to the WBC. Hoping for a Duke-Michigan rematch at the Final Four. Says just they clearly are the two best teams in the country. Like, I think it's them. Arizona's like the next step down, but those two teams are the best. Doc Guff, Imanaga, another incompetent signing by Hoyer. I truly believe Imanaga could be a permanent batting practice pitcher at the annual home run derby. David Montgomery traded to Texans. Wow. Imanaga opted in, guys. He took the qualifying offer. So the Cubs would have been foolish not to give him the qualifying offer. Ben Johnson faked taking his shirt off yesterday at the Bulls game. Should we find it shocking the Bulls ended their 11-game losing streak, didn't win a game in February, but Ben Johnson shows up and they find a way to win a basketball game? Just saying. DePaul and Notre Dame basketball won last weekend. Hasn't seen a lot of that the same way. How about DePaul? Good for DePaul. What a job by Chris Holton. Jeez, oh, Pete, get that right. What a job. A winning record, 3 straight road wins in the Big East for the first time ever. You want to become a member? We're going to have a Q&A this week. Join the Recap fam. That's how you do it. We love when you do it while we're on the program because then we go nuts for each other. Justin, Kyle Teal, and Sam Antonacci, who's having a killer spring. Team Italy. We got Murakami and Ohtani hitting bombs in Japan. It's going to be so much fun. A nightmare matchup for Michigan would be Florida or Arizona. But you wouldn't see that matchup until the Final Four anyway, Lip. I love Italian names, especially ones said by a Southern Brad Pitt. Gorlami. Bonus points for those who know the movie. Supreme, what up? Love seeing DMO leave the North to go. Oh, David Montgomery leave the North to go to the Texans. Solid start to my birthday. Happy birthday, Supreme. Don't sleep on the reigning champion. Florida all of a sudden looking pretty damn good. Jordo says the Blackhawks need to bring back Shaw 2027. Lip says White Sox will have 2 All-Stars, Colson Montgomery and Kyle Teal. Let's hope so. Sox outscoring the Cubs 13-2 in the 2 spring training games. Pretty fun to see the Cubs fans panic over that crap. Richard, hey, Guff, is DJ Moore a Bear this upcoming season? Well, we had Nick on the show last week. He said no. I still feel like yes. But if it's not a yes, they better be getting a good edge rusher out of the process. Chef Paul, my guy, just won a few dollars on a scratch off. I'm going to donate some of it to Pause for Patrick. Chef, dude, you're one of one, my friend. Good to see your grandson over the weekend. Justin, I think they will have more. Murakami, and if Antonacci breaks out, they'll have a few. Okay, Justin, I love your optimism. The White Sox are not having 6 All-Stars, okay? You have a very high ceiling, my friend. It's the most wonderful time of the year, March. Get those accounts loaded up. We get to conference tournament play. We've turned the calendar on a new month. 7 games over 500 in January, 3 games over in February, 10 games over for the year. Your account should be getting a little heavier. Nathan, Vikes are going to be releasing Aaron Jones pending a trade before then, and saw rumors that they're looking at Geno Smith or Kyler Murray. What in the hell is going on? They do have a good football coach there, though. Supposedly, the Geno Smith tape didn't look as bad as people thought it might have looked to the naked eye because the Raiders had no protection for him. That's what the rumor going around is. Go Blackhawks. Need to go to Max celebrating. Kyle, big thanks to Nicholas for all his coverage at the Combine. Want to know who he would pick if he was in Pole's shoes. I think so much is to be determined before we answer that question. The real Phil Simms, even though the backup point guard tore his ACL, Michigan will be the team to beat in the Big Ten tournament and most likely the number 1 seed in the Midwest region. Yeah, 100%. Nathan, are either of those really supposed to be actual quarterback competition with J.J. McCarthy? I'll take Flacco over all of them. Tells you what they might think about J.J. Does Cap know you're in his seat? Says, I know the seats. I can sit wherever I want, Kyle. Kurt, am I the only one who has mixed feelings about Bregman on this team? Because as much grief as Sammy caught over the years, Bregman seems to have gotten a pass from fans and media. It's a fair point, Kurt. Fair point. Cap, Q&A, or Katie, what do you want? You tell me. Katie is flying back from Miami this weekend. She was there for I call it the Girls Gone Wild weekend. So I think I might have just answered your question. Justin says, I told you all about Antonacci. You have. Roger, Guff, what are your thoughts on Mike Evans to the Bears? DJ seems like his Bears career is over. Until DJ's career is over, let's wait. I don't hate the Mike Evans to the Bears at all. I mean, a big guy for Caleb to go throw it up to. Now I'm feeling a little more comfortable about allowing Rome to be your 1 if you have Mike Evans as your security blanket. Notre Dame and DePaul, yes. Clyde, we covered that. Do you think Antonacci will see any innings in the big? It's starting to feel like it. The guy's been absolutely raking this spring. I heard Russ Dorsey on the Score this morning saying he had a scout tell him that guy will be in the league for 12 to 15 years. Peaky Blinders movie opening this weekend. Thank you, Rick Celebrini. He's a pretty damn good player. Could you imagine if he's on the Hawks? Safe travels, Katie. Justin, he might crack the team or make it after the service time thing. He could play outfield too. If he wants to play every day, he will need to play outfield next year with Chalowski coming. Rock is going to get drafted, make a late rookie ball. Rock will still, I don't think he'll be in the majors to break opening day in 27, especially with the lockout. Going to need your Twitter firing out games once tournament starts. Lunch hour, right? That's a great point. That'd be at Ryan McGuffey, by the way. full name, at Ryan McGuffey. That's a great point. He can play infield and outfield. That's true. Okay, that's true. It's a new month at Hooters, our favorite place. Again, March 19th. I'll have a promo made here soon for that, March 19th. So what's going on at Hooters this spring? God, it's so good to say spring. Hurry into Hooters for the deal of the season. Your choice of 10 boneless wings, 10 buffalo shrimp, served with curly fries or tots for $9.99. That is true. In the mood for seafood, check out the Big Fish Sandwich for those observing Lent. Perfectly seasoned, tender cod, or enjoy 1 pound of succulent snow crab legs served with warm drawn butter and fresh lemon. Keep things cool with a $6 legendary margarita or the specials on Dos Equis, Coors Light, and the 22-ounce Big Daddy mugs, and then the funnel fries, which I used to say the pretzel bites. Have you had these funnel fries, folks? Dusted to perfection, served with rich chocolate dipping sauce, a fan favorite. And of course, the madness. Catch it all from March 17th to the 31st. We'll be there on the 19th at one of the 11 Chicagoland locations. OriginalHooters.com. Find one closest to you. The drink of the month, it's not the $6 margarita. That's always there. $6 legendary margarita. The mango mojito is $8. That when I hear mojito, I know it's the weather's getting warmer. Mango mojito, $8. A blend of Bacardi, mango puree, lime juice, and mint. Hooters, originalhooters.com, proud partner of the Recap and the Recap Lunch Hour. Whew. Cannot wait to have that mango mojito on March 19th. I hope all of you can join us. Kurt, who's closing games when and if Palencia can't do it? Being Jed didn't finish the bullpen with a dedicated closer. Remember the teams that have gone into a regular season without said closer. I think the Cubs are going to win a lot of ball games this year. I do. I think they're going to win the NL Central. I do. And I think you could see them make a big move at the deadline for said closer. They did a lot of patchworking last year. If Palencia is your everyday guy, we'll see what happens. Kyle says, just saw an NHL mock draft. Looks like McKenna is sliding due to possible character issues. If he's there for the Hawks to draft, I'm still taking him. Kid's a stud. If you draft a guy with character issues, but you already have a good support system and you can withstand that, it's going to be fine. Justin, a lot of the access infielders will play outfield after this season. I like Tanner Murray, Meade, Antonacci could join Braden Acuna in the outfield. Justin has, I have White Sox optimism, but none as high as Justin. McKenna will be drafted by the Rangers, says Lip. Nathan, Antonacci stats. Best batting average and RBI in JUCO in 2023 when they won the Natty. Porter Hodge-Clyde has had an awful spring. His ERA is in the 30s. He might not break camp with the team. Just telling you. Bergolla Jr. is killing it too. I saw him at a Suns game with Miguel Vargas. Can't remember who. Oh, Acuna. The Commanders will release Marshawn Lattimore at the start of the league year, says Supreme. Nathan, Aroldis Chapman reunion for the 10-year anniversary. I thought about that. It would mean that the Red Sox are up the track come the deadline, since he did re-sign with the Red Sox. So they'd have to be out of contention, I think, for that trade to happen. Kyle Lip, don't say that. At least it's better than going to San Jose to pair with Celebrini. Antonacci leads spring in runs scored, too. Carroll leads spring in the Cactus League in RBI. How about that? Nathan. Kurt says the same Palencia council wouldn't let pitch anywhere near saving the playoffs. They didn't have the lead. Nathan, I've been a day one Porter Hodge hater. Get him out of here. Free up a spot for someone worth half a damn. He has been terrible this spring. Landon says, I'll take some steamed shrimp at Hooters, served with drawn butter, steamed hot and ready to peel. Clyde, just going by how MLB The Show 26 rating is for Porter Hodge. That's not real life, my friend. That's not real life. We heard Chef Paul say he's going to make a donation on behalf of Pause for Patrick, the dog of the day, supporting mental health challenges for adolescents. 30,000 adolescents have been helped since 2020. It seems only fitting that Max is the dog of the day with all this Maxx Crosby possibility going to the Bears. Maxie, lab retriever, loves to go for rides in the car. Could you imagine if Max, the dog of the day, gets paired with Maxx Crosby? Fantastic. Your dog can be dog of the day by emailing me at recapoffice@gmail.com. Recapoffice@gmail.com. All dogs are therapy dogs. What they're doing at Pause for Patrick is putting therapy dogs in mental health facilities full time, not for an hour a week, not for an hour a day. It's causes very near and dear to my heart, folks. It's a pandemic with what's going on with mental health and adolescence. Please, 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 you can help. Go to pauseforpatrick.org to learn more. Text REKAP25 to 44321 to support Pause for Patrick's life-changing mission. You know where I stand on that. Lip says, just had a random thought about when the Sox traded for Craig Kimbrell. Oh, I was so excited for a half of a day. Sox are 3 off from the most behind San Francisco, LA, and one other team, but it's by 3 runs. I like the excitement. It's spring training. Okay. Spring training. It's just, you can't get too excited. Now, for a young team, the wins do matter. How you're playing matters. We aren't thinking backwards. LOL, Sox are moving forward, but I'm not putting them at 94 wins and 6 All-Stars right now, Justin. I'm sorry. And I will happily eat my words if that happens. Kyle says, Max is a perfect choice, Guff. Beautiful. All right. So Miami of Ohio, Friday, they didn't get the job done in our bet of the day. They came back and avoided their first loss of the season to remain as the only unbeaten team in college basketball. Today, I'm going with a team that lately, they're not even Michigan, folks. This team has proven to me what they're doing right now in college basketball. They are blowing teams out of the water, covering at an alarming rate of late. Until further notice, I know this is like a quote-unquote rivalry game, probably more for NC State than it is for Duke. Duke has been crushing, throttling teams. Okay? I'm laying the 9.5 with what I think is the best team in the country tonight. Stephen F. Austin plays tonight, folks. They did bounce back. Stephen F. Austin over the weekend, and we needed to see the prove-it game. They bounced back. They covered easily. They're playing their last game tonight against Incarnate Word. I would suggest taking a peek at Stephen F. Austin. But I'm telling you, the way Duke has played, I have to lay anything under 10. I have to. And the points they're scoring, that's what I'm doing. This one, I'm going to make it easy on us. I'm just going to go with the team that's been playing the best. You see what we did? We were 12-9 in February. We're above 500 in college basketball as we turn the calendar to March. And our year-to-date goes back to football. So we're 68, 56-1 since September 1. And we're 25-15 in the calendar year of 2026. Good vibes are good vibes for young Sox players. No doubt about it. Landon, the Mango Madness the Mango Madness Mojito will sound great for that 65-degree day we're getting next Monday. Absolutely. Kyle says Cam Boozer to the Bulls. Probably not happening, but we can hope. Stop winning. They finally got a win. At some point, you knew they were going to win a game. Top Guff, let's start the month off with a bang. I just feel the way Duke is playing, guys. Okay? It is. Nathan knows. Nathan understands it's March, which means it's time. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been betting post-Super Bowl all throughout January and February, waiting for March Madness to occur. I wanted to read you guys what Duke has done of late, okay? They're 17-12 against the spread this year. But here's what they've done their last 4 games, okay? They were 20.5-point favorites over Syracuse. They won by 35. They were 2.5-point underdogs to Michigan. They won by 5. They were 16.5-point favorites to Notre Dame. They won by 44. They were 9.5-point favorites against Virginia. They won by 26. And they're laying 9.5 tonight on Duke. Lip Ripper gets it. I feel like it does seem like a no-brainer on Duke. He also is going to take that other team. We may just have to pair them together. Stephen F. Austin, one last time before their conference tournament. And I'm really looking at them in the conference tournament because they have to win their conference tournament. So you get NC State with Duke tonight. And then later this week, the final swan song, Duke, North Carolina, to end the year before next week's ACC tournament. But what they're doing of late is impossible to not notice. They are blowing teams out at an alarming rate. And so I'm going to continue to do that. Continue prayers to Godfather and Carrie. Always happy to see Godfather when he's on here. certainly we've been thinking about Carey for quite some time. So we're going the Blue Devils tonight, 9.5. We've talked about Maxx Crosby going to the Bears. Take a peek at Alex Breer's report. Albert Breer's report. Geez, oh, Pete's really good stuff in there. If you're looking for Andrew Benintendi updates, took swings yesterday, plans to do so again. Said he'd be playing if it was a regular season. No reason to rush things on March 2nd. So he's going to be fine. Texans, we know, got David Montgomery. Any other top stories to look back on here? I think we're up to date on everything here. Just making sure. Yeah, looks like we're up to date. Okay, up to date on everything here. A couple more comments before we go. Sending my prayers to Godfather and Carey. There's how you get merch. We need some I know my guy Aloha just got a new shirt. I got to send out merch this week. I know. I owe a lot of people a lot of things. Prayers for Godfather and his family. Have a great afternoon, everybody. Happy March. The sun is out. I know it's going to rain a lot here this week. That's okay. We're going with the Duke Blue Devils tonight right here on the channel. We got the recap rush hour later today here on the channel. The Bulls are off tonight, so no Bulls recap until tomorrow. They got the Thunder. I know Becky's going to be jacked. We got Duke laying the 9.5 tonight. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Lunch Hour. Look forward to seeing you guys on March 19th. Cap and I doing this show in person live at Hooters O'Hare. Have a great day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. We always need each other. It's all brought to you by Hooters. OriginalHooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations near you. Order.hooters.com. It'll be delivered straight to the office, straight to the house. Slide by, pick it up after work. If you don't want to cook those March specials, spring specials are real, folks, at Hooters. $9.99 or less. Come on. Good luck. Have a great rest of your day. Rush hour later here on the channel. Stay tuned to Nicholas Moriano's updates for the Bears as well. Have a great rest of your day.